John Wick is making his way through Manhattan before he is labeled Excommunicado for the unauthorized killing of high-table crime lord Santino D'Antonio on the 42nd floor of New York's Continental Hotel, which is considered neutral ground. He sends his dog to safety with the concierge, Sharon, at the very same hotel. At the New York Public Library, John retrieves a marker medallion and a rosary. He is injured in a fight with another hitman and seeks medical treatment from an underworld doctor, but his excommunicado status activates before the doctor can finish, forcing John to complete the suturing himself. Upon leaving, he is quickly pursued by various gangs of assassins, all of whom he kills. John meets with the director, the head of the Ruska Roma crime syndicate, where he presents the rosary and demands safe passage to Casablanca. As John was once one of them, the director reluctantly helps. Meanwhile, a high-table adjudicator meets with New York Continental manager Winston and the Bowery King, notifying them that they both have 7 days to resign from their positions for helping John and indirectly going against the rules of the table. The adjudicator enlists Zero, a Japanese assassin, and orders him to stab the director through both of her hands as penance for helping John. In Casablanca, John meets Sophia, a former friend and manager of the Moroccan Continental. John presents the marker medallion, which binds Sophia to return a favor from the past, and demands to be directed to the Elder, the only person above the high table. Sophia begrudgingly takes John to Barada, her former boss, who tells John he may find the Elder by wandering through the desert until he can no longer walk. In exchange, Barada asks for one of Sophia's dogs. When she refuses, he shoots the dog, which survives due to his bulletproof vest. Sophia wants to kill Barada, but only wounds him at John's warning. They fight their way out of the Kasbah and drive into the desert, where she leaves John. 7 days later, the adjudicator and Zero confront the Bowery King, who refuses to abdicate his position. In response, Zero's students slaughter his men while the king is slashed 7 times with a Japanese sword as penance. Meanwhile, John collapses in the desert and is brought to the Elder, who asks why he is there. John states that he wants to live to keep the memory of the love he once had with his late wife. The Elder agrees to forgive John's transgressions if he kills Winston, and remains subservient to the high table for the remainder of his life. As a pledge to the Elder, John severs his ring finger and gives his wedding ring to the Elder. John returns to New York and is attacked by Zero and his students before reaching the protection of the Continental. There, in the safety of the hotel, Zero admits to being a fan of John. The adjudicator arrives, but Winston refuses to abdicate, and John refuses to kill him, leading the adjudicator to revoke the Continental's neutral status and send both Zero and an army of heavily armed high-table enforcers to kill John and Winston. Winston provides John with weapons and the assistance of Sharon and his staff. After killing all the enforcers, John is ambushed by Zero and his students, and John proceeds to kill all but 2 of Zero's students. Zero battles John, but is eventually defeated and left to die. On the roof of the Continental, the adjudicator agrees to a parley with Winston, who pledges himself to the high table. John arrives. Winston shoots him without killing him, and John falls off the roof to the streets below. Winston reassumes his managerial position. The severely injured John is secretly collected and delivered to the heavily wounded Bowery King in an underground bunker. The two agree to join forces against the high table.